Welcome to this session of Hireable Coder, and in this session I'm going to discuss about what is Lombok and what are the record types and why we should use them. But before I go there, let me tell you, if you are still writing Java classes with the setters, getters, constructors and equals, hash code or the toString methods by hand, then definitely please do not continue doing that, because that's not the best practice. We should not write those kind of boilerplate code by ourselves. Rather, we should use tools like either the Lombok library or the newly introduced feature in Java language, which is the Java record type, to generate those kind of classes. So normally, what are those kind of classes? Those kind of classes are like our model objects or value objects which carry data. So normally, those kind of classes which only contain properties and their getters, setters, those kind, and do not contain any other methods, any other business methods, those are the classes which are ideal candidates for using Lombok, or those are the ideal classes which should be converted to Java record types. So in this video, I'm going to show you how we can easily do that. On the left hand side, if you see that we are using Lombok to actually define the employee class with three properties or three attributes, which is ID, name and age, but we are not writing a single line of getter, setter or constructor or even the toString or even equals hash code. Everything is generated by this Lombok annotations. What we need to do is we just need to add the Lombok dependency in our maven pom.xml, and then Lombok will generate everything. So that's the way in which we should write modern Java classes. Please to keep that in mind. So if you are still writing setters, getters, constructors by hand in Java, please do not do that anymore. And I'm going to show you a demo of how we can achieve it with using Lombok. But before we go there, let me quickly request you, if you are new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like this video if you really like my presentation, of course, and share it with your friends, because that's going to motivate me to produce further quality videos. And please also take a moment to also view my other videos if you find them interesting, and do let me know your feedback. So that was about Lombok, but Lombok is an external dependency. Apart from Lombok, we can also actually use a very special type which is known as Java record type, which has been introduced in a recent version of Java. It's much simpler and we do not need any external library. It is not as powerful as Lombok, or it is not as feature rich as Lombok, but again, on the other hand, it's a core Java feature. We do not need to add any dependency, so the code still stays lightweight without external dependency. So either use Lombok or use record, because in most of your cases, whenever we are writing simple model classes which are data classes, which are value objects, then this Lombok or the record types will satisfy your requirement. Okay. Now see a quick demo of Lombok and record classes. So I would request you to go to my GitHub repo, github.com/mshomik78, and then within that to this specific repo, Hireable Coder Java, and from there to the specific branch Lombok-usage. So if you go to that branch and then if you follow the instruction, then you can download the code, compile the code, and you should also be able to run the code. So let me now show you the code. So see, this is the employee class which has been annotated with all this Lombok annotation. Add getter annotation generates the getter for the properties. Add setter generates the setter for the properties. At all args constructor generates a constructor with all the three arguments. Similarly, at no args constructor generates a constructor without any argument. And we can all see that in this demo class where we are using this employee class. See, this constructor, I had not written any constructor, I had not written any getter, any setter, but everything has been generated by Lombok. Also, if you annotate the class with @builder, it also generates a builder pattern like this. And also, if you use the @log, then you can also use log statement. So let us run this class and see. Okay, so see, you could see that it has printed whatever it was required, and at the last statement it also printed the the log statement. And yeah, also see that Lombok has also overridden the toString, and that is why we get such a nice representation of this toString thing. So say for example, if I comment this, and then you will see the difference, that then the output of this employee objects would be something which will not contain valuable information. So I have commented that add toString annotation, and rerunning this, see, it is now not giving a good implementation of toString. Again, if I am uncommenting and rerunning the class, then you will get a better representation of toString. So that's the amazing thing of Lombok. It generates all the getter, setter, constructors, toString, equals hash code, builder, everything depending on what annotation you provide to it. Okay, and now let us see the record type, which is a very new feature introduced in one of the latest versions of JDK, I think in JDK 17 or something like that. So here, if it is a record type, you have to define the class as of type record. So instead of public class, you need to define it as public record, and then the name of the record with the properties or the attributes of the record. It behaves similar. So let me show you the example with the record. So employee record. So now I'm creating an employee record. So it has generated a constructor, and then I can actually retrieve all the attributes. So it does not generate a getter or setter, rather it generates methods by the name of the attribute. So that is why it generates methods by the name by the name ID, by the name age. So for example, if I want to see what are the methods it has generated, see, I can get the age or I can get the ID here, and if I run it, then I get the output also. So I hope you understood it. So you can use either Lombok or Java record. Both of them I think are equivalent for most of our normal requirements, but please do not write getters, setters or constructors or toString or hash code equals by hand, because that unnecessarily bloats the code, and that is not required in modern Java. Thank you. I hope I have been able to explain to you the need of using Lombok or record instead of writing the getters, setters or the constructors by hand, because that would make our code concise and would only and our code needs to contain only the business logic and not the unnecessary boilerplate code which we can otherwise generate. But if you have liked the session, then please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and also please download the code from my GitHub repo and try it out yourself, because that's really important to play with the code, because that's the best way that we can learn first. So thank you again for your time. Bye bye.